Hey, it's Mike from Apollo, and we're going to talk about messaging. Landing your message from your business to your business customer is an art, it's a science, and it's I would say we're about 2/3 the strategic process here. So if you're watching this video, we've done a number of things to get to messaging. But even if you're just trying to figure out your messaging, I've got a tool for you that is absolutely free. It's a custom GPT that's got all my years and years of experience with messaging all in one GPT, and it makes these beautiful reports. Have a look at this. It's like a full recommendation on how to choose the right storytelling messaging framework and how to put it into action. But we'll come back to all of this in a second. We're going to apply it. In this series, I've been going through my GPTs, focusing on Campfire. There's sort of a ERP solution, enterprise resource planning solution. They're AI first, and that can be very disruptive, I think, in something like resource planning and getting the whole engine of a business, particularly finance, accounting, all of that working well. So we're going to base it off them. So campfire.ai if you want to check them out. But before we get into the tool itself, I want to share with you some thoughts on messaging. And just look at this. This is just some quick stats that I found here on what happens when you have unclear messaging. And look at this. 40 to 60% more time to acquire customers if your value propositions, if your messaging is not clear. Confusing messaging can lead to conversion rates between 15 and 30% lower. And I thought this one was particularly crazy. If your messaging is off, I mean, of course, your customer is struggling to understand if there's a fit, the sales cycle, the time to close, can be 1.5 to 2 times longer. It's all from the research that I found in this report. And check this out. HBR found that clarity in communication is 152% more effective than complexity in driving customer action. And we all want our customers to take action, right? We want them to buy, to engage, to onboard, and to be truly satisfied and delighted. So I've created this GPT. You just put in your value proposition canvas and it generates this report. It's a full framework that not only explains to you which model of messaging to use, which framework, it gives you examples too. So let's check it out. So remember, we're doing Campfire, so AI and ERP all together. So it gives you a quick summary of your value proposition. It then scores your market and buyer awareness. Now, this is an interesting insight because in this case, everyone knows about ERP, but they might not be fully aware that AI-native solutions can help here. So they haven't made this connection yet, which is really important for your messaging, because if you're leaning too heavily on the AI message, you're essentially solving a problem that the customer's not aligned with you that this is the best route. So we ran the report, and look at this. There are a bunch of frameworks available to you. Many people are not even aware of all these different messaging frameworks. But what you also see here is it chooses for you the right one. In this case, StoryBrand, one of my absolute favorites. Really, the customer is the hero. That's kind of the essence of how this particular framework works. So what we've done is we put in a value proposition canvas, and it generates an automatic messaging recommendation. So first thing in that is we have the framework, and it explains why it chose that one and not the others. Very handy. But let's get into some of the blocks. It points out the customer, the hero, their problem, the guide. That's obviously going to be the brand. What's the plan, the call to action, the success, and hey, what's the failure that this solution has avoided? These are 7 fantastic pillars for messaging that you can come back to time and time again. It even generates an example of landing page copy. Now, this one's interesting. This one spans all of the personas that we mentioned, but then the report will generate one for Sophie, the CFO, one for Marcus, the controller, one for Ava, the VP of Finance and Ops. So the interesting thing in here is how you sell to each of these will be different. So you need a different message. Look at the lead here. Real-time audit-ready financials for SaaS CFOs. Okay, that makes sense because we're really targeting Sophie, the CFO. But look here, the controller is just all about closing the books. And thirdly, we're now going into ops. This is modernize your financial stack with AI-native core accounting. So you can see here how this tool is not only giving you a strategic recommend, it's giving you your 3 personas that were in your VPC. So you can just see how the email marketing, the sales enablement, all can come off the back of this with these great examples. So this is the Messaging Frameworks GPT. You just paste your value prop canvas into this and away you go. And it will generate all of that great content for you to get a message that lands perfectly with your customers. All right, that's it for today. See you next time.